welcome to another video. I am Debbie. Today I have my weekly WIP in chat, and if you are not familiar with that, a WIP is a work in progress, and this is what I'm going to be working on, and I'll give you more information about that in just a few minutes. Feel free to whip out whatever you would like to work on, or if you'd like to simply listen to this as you would a podcast, then that's fine too. If you are new, welcome. If you are not new, welcome back. You know how much I love you guys. Today I am going to be sharing some questions with you that came from Mrs. Coffee. And Mrs. Coffee had tags for content creators about a year ago, and I stumbled across this because Diamond Painting Anonymous, Daphne, did this on her channel last week. So I decided that I would go ahead and do this as well. I will post links below to all of the information that I give you, including Mrs. Coffee's tag, as well as Diamond Painting Anonymous's videos. I am going to be working on Autumn Sun. I've been working on this for a little while. You've seen this in some of my whipping chats, but I have a little bit left here, and then I'm going to go to the final row. So I'm hoping to be finished with this in the next week and a half, if not sooner. So that's definitely going to be exciting for me. I'm going to be using Randa's Crafty Corner Harvest Spice Scented Putty, and I have that both in my multi-placer and my single placer. I also have this out while I'm diamond painting because it smells really good. And I will be using for my pen, this is from Mad Wood Turning, and I just love Sarah's pens. This one was a custom that she did for me, and her customer service is excellent, and I hope to get another one. Her pens are just really hard to come by. You have to really make sure you are right there at the right time. I'm also using this other pen from Lazy River Wood Turning, and I've had this one for a while, but it is one of my favorites. I'm going to be using this if I need a straightener or if I want to just swap up. I am using one of my favorite trays. This is a very large tray from Munimade. I love this tray. It also has my name on it. I have another one that she did that has Crafty Diamond on there that's a little bit smaller. And I want to order some more of hers, and I always forget whenever she comes out with her new releases. So I need to mark my calendar, and then I also need to put that on my reminder on my phone, so I'll be alerted whenever that comes out. And then you can't see this because it's over on the side. I have it pulled back, but I am using a minder, and this one is Mad for Minders, and it's Mrs. Beasley. And if you don't know who Mrs. Beasley is, and you may not, she was actually on a show years and years ago called Family Affair, and I just loved this show when I was little, and I had a Mrs. Beasley, and I carried her around everywhere. So that's a doll. Her name was Mrs. Beasley. It has nothing to do with Autumn or Autumn Sun, but I just love her, and so I grabbed her to keep me company. And so she does have some of my plastic pulled back, which is very helpful. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, how is everybody doing? I hope that you are all doing very well, and that you have gotten over all of the holidays, and you are wrapping everything up and starting over for a new year. Let's see, I need to go ahead and pick a color. I'm trying to decide what color I want to do. I have a lot of greens here. We may get really bored with green, but let's see. Let me pick a color and then we'll get started. But let me know in the comments how you guys are doing and what are you working on. I always like to know what everybody's working on. And if you would like to post some photos of what you're working on, feel free to go into my Facebook group. And that information is down below as well. And you can go in there and I will accept you. And then you can post what you're working on or any of your completions. And it's always fun to see what others are doing. And I'm doing this upside down, so I've got to remember where I am here. More than likely on this one, because I'm having to look at my notes from the tag questions, I am more than likely going to single place instead of multi. because I'm also having to look at this sideways. Last week, I had gotten out of frame somehow, and I thought I was being really careful, but the way that I have this painting set up on my table, it's a little wonky because of the location of where I am having to diamond paint right now. So hopefully it won't be a problem. And I do love to multi-place, but I don't have to think about it as much on single when I'm talking to. I want to make sure I'm definitely in frame here. And I don't have any idea how I'd gotten out of frame last week. And I looked at it and it looked fine. And then when I went to edit it, there was a section that was completely out of frame. And I do apologize for that. Again, I don't know what happened. And once you're out of frame, there's not much you can do with editing because you can't see it. I need to go ahead and also use either my TV or start using my iPad so I can see what you guys see. And I've done that before, and then I kind of forget, what I'm doing. I start focusing too much on that, and that's not as good either, but I'm going to figure it out. So we'll do some life updates first, and then I will go into these tags. With the life update, there's really not that much to update, mainly because I did my last WIP and chat on Saturday. You saw it on Saturday, and I recorded it on Friday morning. So there really wasn't much. Normally I do not record my WIP and chats on Saturdays or to show them on Saturdays. I always do Tuesdays, but everybody was home. It was New Year's, and so it just became difficult for me to come downstairs and to record a video, and it was kind of noisy upstairs, and so I thought I'll just wait and do it for Saturday. On Friday no one was home, so that worked out. Just the dogs and the cat and I, and so it's kind of quiet, and that's when I prefer to do it. So anyway, that's why it was a little bit later, but I'm glad that I'm getting back on schedule. I'm trying to. Next week, we are all off for Martin Luther King, which is a holiday. I don't know where that came from, that roan little diamond there. Next week is Martin Luther King Day, so we are all off. My daughter's out of school. My husband's off work. I work on a campus, and a university campus, and so we are also closed. So I am going to have to work around that again, but it is going to get posted on Tuesday. It'll be ready to go on Tuesday. I may end up doing it a little bit earlier than what I normally do, so that way it's not as noisy in the house. And my husband is doing some work around the house. We had a really bad storm, and then we looked the next morning and we had a leak on our ceiling. Went through to our ceiling in our kitchen, and it came from upstairs. And so on Saturday this past week, my husband spent all morning, really late until the late afternoon, trying to determine where this leak was. He just could not find it. We knew that it was upstairs. We knew the general area. It was either our master bathroom or my daughter's bathroom, or it was the laundry. So we had narrowed it down to that, but that wasn't, much of a narrow down. And he started with the laundry room and took everything out of the laundry room, had to end up cutting some sheetrock, and that made a big mess. And so then he realized that it wasn't there, and he looked in her bathroom and then our bathroom, and he thinks that it is the trap that is it's in the hall, but it's in the laundry, and that trap is where all of the plumbing goes. So that trap had a leak in it in one of the pipes. I don't understand all of this. I'm just kind of listening, kind of, sort of what he was saying. And just kind of nodding my head like I really understand what he's talking about. You know, I have absolutely no clue, and he knows I have no clue, but he just keeps going on and explaining everything in detail. So he finally figured that out after a huge mess upstairs. And so then we had all of that to clean up. Then I was behind on laundry because I usually do my laundry on Saturday, Fridays and Saturdays. I didn't do it Friday. And then Saturday, since he was doing all of that, he turned the water off for a while, so I couldn't take a shower. Then I had to go to the grocery store. By the time I did all of that, I didn't have time to do anything else. So I really didn't get to do all my errands, didn't get to do all of my laundry. And so that went over into today, which is Monday for me, because he does his laundry on Sundays. So anyway, it has been just, one thing after another. At least he did find the leak, and it's not that bad right now. It's not even leaking. He thinks it mainly was because of, the storm caused a problem. And then as long as we're not using our washing machine or we are not taking a shower, my daughter and I, she's using her shower and we're using our bathroom, then it's fine. So we're having to remember to do all of that. And that's been kind of a hassle, but it's kind of worked out. So it hadn't really been too much of an issue. So we got that taken care of. And then he's going to be working on the leak, getting it repaired this weekend. Hopefully he will be done before Monday, but I don't want to take that chance. So I may go ahead and record my WIP and chat on Friday when nobody's home. And then that way I don't have to worry about it being noisy, because he'll be running up and down the stairs. He has a lot of his tools that he stores downstairs, and I'm downstairs in our basement. And he runs up and down the stairs, and I tell him, I'm going to be doing a video. In other words, please be quiet. And so he comes up and down the stairs. He starts talking to me, and then he'll forget that I'm on video, and then it's hard for me to have to go and try to edit all of that. So anyway, it's just to say that it's going to be done, but it may be me recording on a different date, but you wouldn't know that. It wouldn't affect you in any way. So that was our wonderful Saturday, to wake up to such a mess. And now we're going to have our ceiling redone in the downstairs, basically, all but our living room. And I may not have to have my office done, I'm not sure, but it's not going to match. Our house is older, and it's not popcorn that they put on the ceiling, but it's this other stuff that I think they use like some type of a template, and then they just put that like some kind of a design. And so then they just put that on the ceiling. I guess that was really popular maybe in the 80s when this house was built. And that's something that we wanted to do anyway. So we're going to take the popcorn down, and then we're going to just have, and I would take I don't know what it is, it's not popcorn, but take that down. Even though it has this textured look to it. We're going to have that removed. We're going to have a new sheetrock put up, and then we're just going to have smooth paint. And we've been wanting to do that. We just didn't want to do that right now. But we don't have the paint, or we don't have these stencils that they used in order for it to match. So we'd have to have that stencil, or it's not going to look right. And we don't want to fool with all of that anyway. So that's another home project that we're going to have to do. But it's always something when you have a house, especially an older house. There was a lot of upgrades that was done to this house before we bought it. So that was really nice. We were extremely excited about that. But the issue with that is that there's still some things that, wasn't done, or things that we want to have done. And so we're slowly working on, our list. Or I should say my husband's to-do list. And he loves to do things like this. He can do plumbing, he can do just about anything, which is really good, because we can save money on contractors. He knows what he likes, and that makes it a lot easier. And contractors are so hard to get to come to our house. We'll have contractors come out, and then they never call us back, or they'll call back and it'll be some kind of crazy quote. So we're just not going to do that. Making sure I'm still in frame here. So that's what's really been going on around here, just typical maintenance. And then we got out and blew some more leaves. It's just inundated by leaves. So we did that on Saturday. We went out and picked up dinner on Saturday night. I don't like to cook on Saturdays that much because I cook during the week except on Wednesdays. So usually on Wednesday and Saturdays we'll just pick up something. And so that's kind of what we did. And it was okay. It wasn't that great. I probably should have just cooked with what we wanted. It would have been probably just as easier, would have tasted better, but it's just nice to have a break. And then on Sunday, we decided, okay, we're going to have hot dogs and chili, which I'm not really crazy about, but I do buy organic hot dogs. I don't know if that means anything, but decided, okay, that's what we're going to do, something very easy on Sunday so we can just, relax. I had to go back to work today, and my husband knew he was going to have a busy day at work today, so he really just wanted to relax and not do much on Sunday. So we did that, and I went to the grocery store. I bought everything for the week, and I bought the hot dogs, bought the buns, and we had homemade chili that I had in the freezer. Then I go to heat everything up, and guess what? No hot dogs. And I bought them. I know I did. My daughter puts all the groceries up. That's her job. So I called her from upstairs and I asked her, where did you put the hot dogs? And she said, we didn't have any. You didn't buy any. And I distinctly remember that I did buy the hot dogs. So they didn't get home. And it was too late. I didn't feel like going out to get any. My husband didn't either. So we ended up having leftovers, which was fine. That's not really what I wanted, but thank goodness we had the leftovers, or I would have had to have gone out, or he would have. So that was our wonderful Sunday. And I know that I bought them. So anyway, and I checked my list. I even marked them off my list. So I know that I bought them. So that was, kind of a messed up weekend. It's like one thing after the other. The leak, and then no dinner of what I wanted. So that was kind of disappointing. Not that I really wanted hot dogs, but it was disappointing that I had to think of something else really quick for my family. And then we were going to go and get our nails done because my nails were looking really rough. You can kind of see. And it hadn't been that long since I had them done. But we just didn't have time. We had another storm on Sunday, and it rained so hard. And I just didn't want to get out in the rain just to go and get my nails done. And I thought, well, I know that you guys will understand. It's not just horrible. I don't like going to work with my nails like this, but we will have to go on the weekend because my daughter doesn't get home till later. By the time she gets home, it's just going to be too late for us to go and get our nails done. So that will be sometime next weekend, hopefully. Maybe since we're all off on Monday, we can go and get our nails done. So that's a thought. I'll have to look and see what her plans are. And we always go together, so I need to see what she wants to do. And I'm still thinking about looking into Color Street or some type of nails that I can just put on, easily take off. I don't have to keep going for manicures, or we've been getting gels. And I don't like gels because it's a pain to take off by yourself. It is a lot of trouble. So that's my upcoming thing that I plan on doing. Let's see. I think I need to change colors. I wish I wasn't at so much green, but and I'm just kind of filling in where I did not get to finish on Sunday. I did diamond paint just a little bit yesterday. I did have to start preparing for my classes for this week. I have to start going back on campus, and I have 3 classes that I have live, and I have 2 onlines. So I'm going to be busier this semester just because I'm not just sitting in my office. I have 2 classes that we're doing. It's called Live Online, and I am on campus. Students are wherever, and they're online. But we have a specific time they have to come on, and they have to be there. It's just like as if they're coming into class. They have to have a webcam, and we have not done this in accounting before. And it's fairly new to our university, but I've done it before at another school. So I'm not worried about it. It's just, it takes time, and it takes time to prepare, and students aren't used to this either. So now I've got to get students acclimated that I am there, I'm live, we're doing lectures, but we're not face to face. So I'm going to be really curious to see how well this semester is going to go. Hopefully it will go very well. Let's see, I need another color. And I'm remembering I'm doing this upside down, so I have to remember which one that I need. It's going to need Y. Let's see where this one, I think this is this one. Yes, I think so. Okay. And this tray is really nice because it holds so much. All right, so now I'm going to start doing this one, but I'm not sure if that's the right color. This doesn't look right. Let's see. Yeah, I guess it is. Okay, sorry. I want to make sure that I have the right color. I do not want to have to take all these colors off. So on these tags, there are 20 questions on here. And some of these I had to really think about, and others it was just so easy. And I will put the link at the bottom of the tags. This is actually a link to a playlist that Mrs. Coffey set up. She invited creators sometime last year, and it was like early part, it's been over a year. So I think it was in maybe the end of 2021 or sometime in 2021. But she set up a playlist. So if you're interested in these questions, take a look at the playlist that I put at the bottom, because all of the creators that participated in this tags for Mrs. Coffey, she also tags their channels. So you can find new creators by going to these tags. And I want to thank Mrs. Coffey in advance for doing this. These questions were really good. And I really like, there's one that I had to really think about. Do I really want to answer this one? But I'm going to answer all 20, and I'll tell you that whenever I get there, which one that was. I really should be multi-placing this, but I'm not. Okay, so the first one is, what is your current WIP? Give all the details you know so far. So, as I mentioned, I am working on Autumn Sun. I do have other WIPs in progress, and I am working on those one at a time. Instead of just doing a small section going to the next WIP, I want to get this one finished, and then I want to go back to Diana, my Diamond Painting Deutschland. I want to get that one finished, and then I want to move back to House on the Cliff. So I think that that's going to be like the best progress that I can make, and I should finish this, hopefully. I know I'll finish this by the end of this month, and I'll finish it before then, more than likely. I'm also working on, and it's a smaller one, that one is one I work on at night upstairs, and that one is my Crystal Fox, and it's I think it's 50 by 70. I could be totally wrong on the size. I'll have to look at it. But that one I am doing for the Jeremiah Kettner event with Painting with Pities. And so that one I have just hit the halfway mark. It is going by really quickly, and it's a really fun, colorful kit. So that will be completed in, I would say it'll be completed by the end of next week, because it's going by so fast. It's so colorful, and I'm really enjoying that one. And that one's from Diamond Art Club. And this one, the details that I know so far, it's a Dreamer design. It is my first Dreamer design to actually work on. I have several in my kit, I have several kits in my stash, rather. And I am now an affiliate with Dreamer Design. It was mainly because of this kit. I applied and they accepted it. So I wanted to just be transparent with that. Even though that I am an affiliate with Dreamer Designs, I will still give you all of the details. I'm going to be honest with all of my details, all of my affiliates. I am honest with my comments. If I don't like something, then I am definitely going to let you know. So what I tell you is how I felt about it, and the way I like something, somebody else may not. And of course, that's perfectly fine. It's expected. This one has been so much fun. I love all of the fall colors. This is a round. This isn't even one of their newer kits. This is an older kit, and I absolutely love it. It's all fitting very well together. I have not had any bad drills. I have not had any issues with sliding drills or popping drills, and it has just been so much fun. All of the colors are really pretty and vibrant. They all match each other really well, and it is a really good size. I can't say anything bad about this canvas. Absolutely nothing bad about it. It's going by very quickly when I do have time to work on this one. I do work on this one when I'm only in my craft room because it's so large. I don't take it upstairs. And it's not that it's really large. It's just in the evenings or when I'm sitting with my family, I like to diamond paint and watch TV, and so I have a small little lap tray, and that lap tray only can handle so much of a diamond painting. So I have smaller diamond paintings upstairs, and ones that aren't really long, so it's not just dangling on the floor or dangling, at my legs. And so I work on this one when I'm downstairs. So I don't get as much time on this one as I do the other one. And that's fine. That's why I'm working on larger ones in my craft room. Just makes it easier. So that is this one. And then question 2 is, what is your workspace like? Insert a photo if possible. I have 2 workspaces, and I try to keep my workspace rather clean. Sometimes it is not, depending on what I've been working on. But what I have in my craft room is a Husky work table, and that came from Home Depot. We were looking for a table for my husband, and he wanted one that he could adjust and that would fit in his workspace. We saw this one, and it wasn't exactly what he wanted, but when he saw it, he thought, well, maybe this would be really good for me. So I looked at it, really like it, and I really like the fact that you can raise it up and down. It's a manual crank. It's not anything fancy. It would have been nice, to have an electric one, but they also, can go out, the motor or whatever. And so this is just a little crank that when I need to stand up, then I can just stand up and I can work. And so if I'm doing something for a long period of time in my craft room, whether it's diamond painting or other crafts that I do, then I like to be able to raise and lower this table. And that has been super nice because I do have arthritis and I also have osteoporosis. So I have to stand up quite often. I can't just sit for a long period of time. I start to hurt. And so I like it because I can stand up, I can stretch, and I can still diamond paint. And it makes it really nice. It's so much fun. So that is one of my work tables. And then the other one is the little lap tray that I use. And I have a recliner that I have in our den. And with the recliner, I'm able to recline, and I can, sit back in my recliner. I can stretch out. I can have my lap tray on my lap. I have my diamonds, everything that I need. I have that on a little table, a rolling cart that I have next to me that I roll in and out from my office. That's downstairs. So that worked out. It's worked out very well for me. Now I do make a mess sometimes downstairs because sometimes it's not as easy on that lap tray. So I have to be really careful. I think I finally have gotten the groove down of how to do it to where you don't make a huge mess. But I had a few diamonds that spilled, and I just, swept them up. So it was fine. And he's good with that. I'm good with it. And it just makes it nice because I can be around my family at night and I can still diamond paint. So number 3 is, what is your favorite diamond painting pen and where did you get it from? I actually have 2, and it's the 2 that I showed you today. This Mad Wood Turning, it is my absolute favorite. There's butterflies and little flowers inside. You can see the white. I know it's kind of hard with the glare, but I love it. It's a hybrid. It has wood at the bottom or the top here. And I just love this pen. It's very comfortable. And then the other one is from Lazy River. And I really like this one. It is thinner, so I can swap those 2 up. And let's see, the next question, number 4, is what is your favorite diamond painting tray and where did you get it from? Well, currently, my favorite is the one that I'm using from Munimade. I like this one because I like how the drills just, they fall in place really well. This is an extra large tray, and I really do like that. For a smaller canvas, I do have a smaller tray of hers, but I also have just purchased from Cat Proof trays, and you will see that unboxing shortly. I want to try those out. I have several, and I've heard those are really good trays as well. So my trays, you may rotate, from time to time what my favorite is, depending on, the moment, the trays that I've tried. I like to try various companies. That way I can see and compare of what I like, what I don't like, and then I can also let you guys know. So if you don't want to just purchase from several companies, then you can see which ones that I like, and maybe you'll like them, and maybe you won't, because of course everybody has their own way of of doing things and how you like different things, and of course what you like I may hate, and vice versa. So just use whatever you like. There's not a right or wrong tray, and even the trays that you get from diamond painting companies, with your toolkit, those work just as well. So the next one, number 5, is which do you prefer, round or square, and why? Honestly, I don't have a preference. If I see a diamond painting that I really like, I will look at the size. Sometimes I don't even do that, but I'm trying my best to look at the size now on my diamond paintings to see if it's, if it's a good size, if it's not just absolutely huge. And I don't even look to see if it's a round or square, because I can do both. Now, if I am doing something that is going to be really detailed, and if it looks better as a square, if it has a lot of detail, because the squares are going to fit nicely, or you hope that they will, and then it's also not going to have any gaps, whereas with rounds sometimes you can see the gaps. But if you stand away from your diamond painting like you're supposed to view it anyway, you usually don't see those gaps. So really it is just a matter of preference, but I can do either one. I also like crystal drills, and I do like doing the specials every now and then. I don't know if I would want to do an entire one that's just all special drills or all crystals. I think it'd be fun to try it, but it wouldn't be something I would want to do all the time. But if I want something that's going to go faster, if I want to get more diamond paintings done, or if I have a need to have more diamond paintings done, then round is the way to go, because round is faster, or at least it's faster for me, and it's faster whenever I do multi-place. So that was number 5. Number 6, what is your favorite wax or putty? And I actually have 3. So I couldn't really narrow those 3 down, but I love Randa's. That's my go-to. I like Mary Mud. And I like Enabler's Outpost, the Chit. I really like that one as well. I like the Chit more so for multi-placing than single placing, but I use it for both. And it just depends on what I'm in the mood for. If I have a certain painting that I want my putty to match or to be similar to, then I will choose that. But for the most part, it's just any 3 of those works out great for me. Number 7, what are the top 5 places I like to shop on Etsy for diamond painting supplies? And that was Distracted by Diamonds, which is also patty wax. I've purchased several kits and some patty wax from her, from Robin. I really do like Mad for minders. I like that the minders are different, and the minders are wood minders, or the ones I have purchased from Mad for Minders are the wooden minders. And then I do like the Everlasting Tips. And cover minders, Saban. I love Saban's cover minders. Her cover minders are absolutely amazing. They're gorgeous. I purchased several from her, and that's definitely my go-to shop is Saban's. And then let's see, I purchased from Cat Proof Trays, and again, you will see my purchase from them. I do like the trays. And I've only purchased larger trays. So this time I've purchased some small trays. I want to see how I like those. But I'm sure that I will like them just as much as I do the large ones. And so that will be on an upcoming video. So number 8 is, what's an accessory company you haven't tried but would like to? And I've heard a lot about Peachy Keen. And Peachy Keen is pins. And so I want to order one of their pins. And I keep looking on the website. I see a couple that I really like, but I'm not ready to order yet. So that's one company that I definitely want to try. And then there are others. I really haven't gotten into the pin, I don't want to say craze, but the pin accessories. I do have several pins, but now since I have quite a few diamond paintings in my stash, I want to start focusing more on accessories, especially pins and trays and minders. So if you have a really good place that you like to shop, a small shop, let me know, especially on the pins, and I will be glad to check them out. Number 9, what is your favorite diamond painting accessory and why? My accessory is pins, because they are so pretty and it's a variety. While I do love cover minders, I mean, they don't do much, but just, they're pretty and they are helpful. But with the pins, it's just really pretty. I can decide what kind of mood that I'm in and what kind of pin that I want to use based on my mood or based on what I'm working on. And then the pins are made so differently, and there's so many pin turners that it's really fun to see all the differences. So definitely pins there. Number 10, how long have you been diamond painting? I started diamond painting in September of 2020, and I was working because we had to work from home, but a lot of schools went online. So I was working at my full-time job online. Then there were a couple of schools that asked if I would like to develop some courses. So I was busy, but then I was also stressed because of the, time that we were, stuck at home, and then not knowing, what was going to happen. That was very stressful. And then also working for other schools in trying to get some courses up and running online. So I wanted something that was going to be a really good stress reliever. And I kept seeing diamond painting or people talking about diamond painting. And so I would look on Etsy, and I would look through there, and then I started looking on Instagram and seeing all these diamond painting pictures and different reels and things. So decided I think I want to try this as well. So I purchased a small diamond painting from Amazon, not knowing, and I did 2 or 3 of those, and I liked them, but I thought there's got to be more, because ones that I've seen on Instagram are just really pretty, and they seem to be more than what I'm getting. So then I found an ad, of all places, Diamond Art Club, and I went ahead and I purchased my very first one of Diamond Art Club, and that one was Elizabeth. And I absolutely loved Elizabeth by Mandy Manzano. That one is still my favorite diamond painting today. Even though I have done 45 now total, I still come back to my favorite is Diana. I have her in a gorgeous antique frame. She is in my craft room. And I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't know even that multi-placing was a thing. So I single placed all of that painting. And I could have finished it a lot faster had I multi-placed, but I kept watching more and more videos, and I thought, I really like this. And so once I got Diamond Art Clubs and I had gotten Elizabeth, I was absolutely hooked and knew there was no turning back. So that was how I really started, and just bought more in 2020 and 2021 than I probably should have. And I didn't get to really diamond paint that much in 2020 because I'd gotten so busy, and then we were working on our house and renovating it, and then we sold it, had to find another place to live. So long story short, diamond painting really helped me get through all of those humps as well. So let's see, number 11, what made you want to start diamond painting? And that was answered with 10. Number 12, how long have you had your platform? My YouTube platform will be a year old, February the 8th. So I started on February 8th of 2022, and I started Instagram early in 2021. I just posted, I went ahead and decided that I was going to post my finishes and post, some of my work in progress on a separate channel and not my personal channel, because I thought the people that are on my personal channel have no interest in this, and they're going to get really tired of seeing all the diamond paintings. And I kind of wanted diamond painting to be on its own. I wanted to be able to look back and see what all I've done, and I thought that would be the best way. So I went ahead and started the Crafty Diamond. And at first I think I had it just by my name, and then I started thinking, what is a catchy name? And the only thing that I could come up with was a Crafty Diamond. And looking back, maybe I should have just used my name instead of the Crafty Diamond, but I think I love it. I'm glad that I did that, but sometimes I wish that I had my name there so everybody would know what my name is instead of having to look at my profile. But I can always change that, put my name in parentheses if I wanted to. But that's how the Crafty Diamond came to be. And I always wanted to do, well, I shouldn't say always, for a long time I wanted to have a YouTube channel, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I didn't think that I would be that good with cards or scrapbooking. and I just really didn't think that was the direction that I wanted to go in. So when diamond painting came along, I thought I can do this. And I started watching all the videos of, content creators and seeing what they did. And so that's how I started. So number 13, do you do other crafts when you're not diamond painting? Yes, actually I do. I need another color. I'm changing colors quite a bit today. I guess that's okay. Let me get another color. I also make cards, and I've mentioned this on my channel quite a bit now, actually. I like to make cards, and my cards are not anything special. They're not anything, really spectacular, but they are enjoyed by a lot of people. I set up a group at church called Cards for Compassion. And at first it was just me, and that was okay. I made cards I would give to church, and then church would send cards out to people that were in need, whether they were going to have surgery or, they had a death in the family or whatever it was, and they would send the cards out. Well, then we started talking about it, and we set up a small group at church for card making. And so now we have a really nice group. We meet on Wednesdays. We actually meet virtually because it just seemed to work out better for all of us. And we just sit and talk, and we do it through Zoom. And we have just a wonderful time together. So we look forward to our Wednesday nights, and we can make cards for church. We can make cards for, our families or friends or whatever we want to do. It's not, just strictly for church. But then we do donate our cards. So everything we do, we pay on our own, and then we donate. I also make cards for a nonprofit that's called Cards for Soldiers. I'll make cards. I have to include the envelopes on that one as well. And then I send out the cards to the person that is overseeing this. She is the owner of this nonprofit. And she has people that are volunteers, and they go through the cards, separate the cards, and they send the cards out overseas to soldiers. And soldiers can just pick from these cards, and all the cards are free for the soldiers. They can use the cards to send home, because apparently a lot of the bases, especially that are international, they do not have cards in their commissary for them to be able to purchase to send home. So they will use our cards, and then they will just send them home to their loved ones. So I feel like that is a passion that has really grown. I didn't know when I started making cards, what am I going to do with cards? Because my family doesn't need to have cards all the time. They're going to get tired of it. And so these two groups came up, and that's what I do. I also like to memory plan. At one point, I was a scrapbooker years ago and got out of that. But I like to memory plan. I like to keep up with what we're doing, and if we go on, vacations. And that has really changed over the years. So now I use a happy planner, and I will use that as a memory planner. So if we do anything during the week, I put that on there. I'll just put, some comments. I'll journal, put a couple of pictures, and call it good. If we go on a trip or there's something special, then I will definitely go through, and I might do a page and put that in a digital album. But I don't have room anymore, or the time, or the patience to scrapbook. But I will do digital and just have that uploaded, and then I will do a book for that. So that's really what I will do other than diamond painting. Let's see. What are your top 5 places to buy pens, wax, and trays? Pens, Lazy River wood turning, BFF diamond painting pens. I've been purchasing from them since 2020. In Abler's Outpost, I enjoyed their pens as well. Mad Wood Turning, and then Jim's, I think it's Jim's Pen Turning. I've purchased some from that shop as well. Wax, I've already mentioned, Randa's, Mary Mudd, Enabler's Outpost, and Patty Wax. Trays, let's see, I have the Munimade, Bella Art, Day Nicole. I have not purchased their new trays. I have the older trays. I have several colors and those work fine for me. I have ordered recently a new tray from them, so I'm going to be excited to unbox that. Also, I like NYX's Notions trays. Number 15 is, where do you start your diamond painting, top, bottom, why? I don't know why, but I've always started on the bottom left. I am right-handed, and for a while I tried once or twice the bottom right, but I always start from the bottom and I always work up. I don't think I've ever done a diamond painting where I've started from the top, and it's nothing to do with anything, I don't think. It's just something that's how I started, and I guess, you know, old habits are hard to break, so I have been doing that for a while. Let's see, oh, and on some of these questions, I would love to hear some of your responses. Where do you start your diamond paintings and why? I know that I have a friend that starts right in the middle, and then she'll either work up or she'll work down. And then I have another friend that likes to get what she calls the boring parts over first. And so she'll just randomly diamond paint wherever. She doesn't have like a rhyme or reason. She doesn't just go from, you know, bottom to top or top to bottom. She's just all over randomly. Let's see, number 16, name 3 people, including other creators, you would like to meet. I would love to meet Lizette Crafts and Tales, mainly because I love her channel and I would love to hear about all of her international travels, and I would love to travel internationally to be able to see her. Also, Lazy River, Matt and Stephanie, they actually live not too far from me, so that would be nice to meet them. And then I would love to meet Rachel Ray, because I would also, not only would I like to meet her, I would love for her to take me on a tour in Ireland. And then I feel like I know some other diamond painters. I don't want to not mention anybody, but I would love to meet Kimba's Crafts, Kim, in person. And we text, or we message quite a bit. And then also I would like to meet Angie. She is from Angie Diamond Paints, and I will put the links for both of them down as well. She is in Canada and she's a fairly new content creator, and both Kim and Angie are going to be working with me. We're going to be co-hosts for the J-Wall event. I would also like to meet Diamond Painting Anonymous, Daphne, because I think that we have a lot in common. And then when she moves to Canada, I would like to be able to visit her there as well. And then, in addition to, I said more than 3, in addition to those, Diamond Paintings by Laura, I would love to meet her. I would love to sit down and watch and see how fast that she diamond paints and what I can learn from her. And also, I am going to be going to the retreat at the end of June. And so there's going to be several content creators there, and I cannot wait to meet everybody in person. So that's going to be so much fun. I'm really looking forward to that. Number 17, what genre of diamond painting is your favorite? Examples, people, animals. I love fantasy and mythical. I do not like dark fantasy though. That is just something that is really not what I enjoy. But I love mermaids, I love fairies, and just different aspects of fantasy. I love, obviously, Josephine Walls, and I don't think that hers is dark at all. I have several of hers. I really like fan art, and I cannot wait to get started on a diamond painting that I ordered from Jaded Gem Shop, and that is the Princess. And I don't know when I'm going to be able to get to that, but I really want to work on those. and I do have several. I am looking forward to unboxing those. I can't decide how I'm going to unbox them yet because I bought more than one. I could not decide which ones. She was having a sale and I couldn't pass up the sale. So that is definitely on my radar, the fan art for the princesses. And then let's see, I like muted tones. I have a couple of those I'll be doing soon. I really enjoy doing portraits and I have several of those. I'm not really sure yet on landscape. The jury is out on that one. I do have some landscapes. I have completed 2, and I did enjoy doing both of those. That was it was fun, but I haven't really had the urge to get back to a landscape. I do want to get back to the house on the cliff, and that's definitely landscape. That's huge. It is turning out really pretty. But I don't know if that would be something that I would want to gravitate all the time. Let's see, number 18. What is the biggest diamond painting you completed and how long did it take? The largest one was Titania and Oberon. That took me 2 months. That was Diamond Art Club and Josephine Wall. And it was a 70 by 98 centimeters. It is gorgeous. I also have an unboxing on my channel on that one, as well as kitting up, and then I do have completion post, and it's also included on my 2022 finishes, so it's in several places. Once I complete my diamond painting Deutschland, which is Diana, then that one is going to overtake Titania and Oberon, and that will be the largest one. And funny, it's also a Josephine Wall. So that one, it'll be interesting to see how that's going to change next year or this year. 19, what would be your dream kit? What kind of glue and size? I am getting to where I'm enjoying smaller kits, and smaller kits being around 50 by 70. I do prefer poured glue. That is my go-to if I have to get double-sided adhesive. If that's the only option, then I'll do it. But I really prefer not to. The kits I have from Diamond Painting Deutschland are double-sided. I don't mind working on them. I just have to be more careful and just make sure that they're laying flat, or I have them hanging up, and it's not as easy. They're stickier, they're more finicky. Once you lay a drill down, it becomes more difficult to get the drill off if you need to. And the types of drills, I definitely prefer resin drills. But again, if I don't have resin, it's not the end of the world. But I do prefer resin. Let's see. Do you prefer confetti or color blocking? And that really depends. I really prefer a mixture. Of course, that wasn't the question, but I prefer a mixture. I get really tired if I do just confetti. After a while, I just have to stop on the confetti and I have to do something else. But I enjoy it because it looks so much better. There's so many different colors in a small area, and it becomes gorgeous. There are some kits though that I have done confetti on, and there really wasn't even a need for it. But I would not want all confetti, and I wouldn't want all color blocking. I become bored with color blocking. This kit has been such a fun kit to do because there is a mixture on this kit. There's some color blocking, there's some confetti. I'm able to use different size multi-placers. I've used a 10 multi-placer on here, and the drills were just as straight as can be and just absolutely gorgeous. So it's kind of, depends on the kit and what kind of mood that I'm in. The final one is a bonus. Name your top 5 diamond painting companies, and Diamond Painting Shop is one of my absolute favorites. I am an affiliate with them, and I just love Diamond Painting Shop. If I didn't like them, I wouldn't be an affiliate. But they have some gorgeous kits, and Rosa is so nice. I mean, her customer service just cannot be beat. I just love her service. I love everything about Diamond Painting Shop, and I cannot wait to start on another one. Also, Craftably. I purchased from Craftably last year and purchased several from them. I have completed 2 from Craftably, and then Dreamer Designs, also of course Diamond Art Club, and then I really enjoy DIY or Die Moon Shop, and I don't purchase that often from Die Moon Shop unless they have a sale or maybe a sale on their shipping or a code, because theirs I think is a little pricey and their shipping is pretty high. Of course, I love Diamond Painting Deutschland, but that's not one that I would purchase very often either, because the shipping is absolutely crazy. I mean, just crazy expensive to be able to ship to the US. That is the only downside with Diamond Painting Deutschland, and the fact that I don't know if all of theirs are double-sided adhesive. I don't think so, but all of the ones from Josephine Wall are double-sided adhesive, which is, it's okay. But they also have to ship that. They ship it in these really nice containers, so your diamond painting is not going to get, destroyed or anything, especially coming from Germany to the US. But it's expensive, and a lot of theirs are pricey anyway, and then having to pay for that shipping. But those are my go-tos. So I would say the ones that I just mentioned, other than Diamond Painting Deutschland, that's my go-to. If there's something that I'm really wanting, or if I really am in the mood to buy a diamond painting, those are the ones I will look at first. And of course I have others that, I enjoy, but those are, if I can only choose 5, those are my top 5. So thank you so much for spending time with me today as I go over these tags. This was a lot of fun. It also required me to think a little bit, and if I did not mention you or your company, it does not mean anything. It's just that I can only mention so many, and I have so many people that I would like to meet. I would love to meet all my subscribers. I think that would be a lot of fun. And just to meet everybody in the community, not just the ones that I mentioned, but to be able to just have like one huge convention and just meet everybody. That would be like a dream. And then we could all diamond paint together, and that would be so much fun. I'm going to call it good for today. I was kind of all over on this section, but I wanted to get the rest of these colors in that I had not completed. And it was in a section where it was easier for me to see for the most part. So I've actually almost completed all of this. I have some on the side where you won't be able to see that anyway. And then I have up at the top that I need to work on some more. And then I will be on starting on my last row on this one. Please, if you would like, please go ahead and answer some of these questions in the comments. I would love to hear your responses. And if you would like to visit Mrs. Coffey's tags, you can go to her community tab once you go into the tags, the link, and you can find the actual printout of those. I had just watched Diamond Painting Anonymous, and I had typed up the questions as she was going over them, and that's how I ended up doing mine. But I have been told that they are also underneath the community tab, so you can find them there as well. Again, thanks so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate everyone's support. And until next time, happy diamond painting. Bye.